Today we have Luc, my friend. We have also the same hoodie. He's from Spain, and we'll talk about his story. I think that we will hear a very interesting story from him. I will talk about socials, what he's currently doing. We should be in 2021. I don't know. How are you, Luc?
Thank you. First of all, thank you, Francesco, for inviting me. This is a pleasure to be with you. Finally, we made it, and
Finally. Yeah, yeah,
yes, and
yeah,
this is it's great to be with you, and just to see you, it's an opportunity for me to just let my heart and let my emotion like pum 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 a little bit, and
yeah.
it's great. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, I remember that this should be the second time that we see ourselves in camera. Maybe we did like a Zoom call, maybe in August. I don't know if you were
Yes,
there. Maybe, yeah,
yes,
you were there.
yes.
It was, I think, the first time that I was recorded in on camera, maybe in a video call. I was so nervous about that, and now people feel nervous coming on my channel because maybe I'm getting a few views. But thank you for watching. Really, really happy to talk with you. So please, can you introduce yourself? Because I really want to listen to your story. I've seen some tweets, some very great tweets about that, but hearing from your voice, I think it will be different.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Francesco. I'm born in Romania, so I'm originally from Romania, from Bucharest, and I came to Spain around 2005. And it was, I just came to Spain not knowing anything in Spanish and just not even say hello, which is hola, which is ciao in Italiano. Yeah, so it was kind of challenging for me to leave something that I had behind in Romania, coming over here in Spain and just starting over with my actual life, and just but with the time I learned to adapt myself to culture. I don't see myself as a Romanian or Spanish or American or whatever. I just see myself as a citizen of Earth. I don't see
Wow,
myself, just
I love this.
I'm yeah, I mean, and it's just like coming here to Spain. I've seen some opportunities, special in around 2018 when I just developed a friendship with a guy that I knew, and in 2019 I decided to switch career and to come from logistic to programming. Well,
Nice.
for me, to program, to code, it's very challenging. As I it's not about the age that I have. I'm 43 years of age, and it's not about the age that I started late or something. I got this. I just got this, right.
I think that, yeah, I love this. I love this.
So I just got this. Age is not a number. I mean, it doesn't matter the age that you are into programming. But one of the challenge that I have with coding and with things in life is that I cannot remember. So I have to write down things, and I have to take notes, written notes, and from time to time and just look upon them. And maybe this is a common thing into coding life, but for me it's just like I was like, for instance, when I started code, I wanted to learn the syntax and remember things and not Googling. And I felt
I feel that. Yeah,
yeah, I felt horrible just by
that,
Googling stuff. And then I just realized that, wow, this is something normal. And then I got into this great community in Twitter, and I just like, wow, this is for me. This is where I feel like home. I mean, come on. I post a question. I post just, I just, and it's like, wow, the people are answering, and the people are just, it's like, wow, this is has life. I mean, this community is alive. It's like Frankenstein says, it's alive.
I love this.
And I was like, It was like,
Doing
man,
the
I'm
trailer.
like, we're like, oh God, this is so awesome. I gotta be there and I gotta post my questions and my doubts and everything. And that's the way social media impacted me. I
Yeah.
mean, it really impacted my life, man. I mean, I'm talking to people, and they are saying, and I'm saying to them, look, you have to go to Twitter if you want to develop this. You have to go to social media if you want that. You have to search your niche. You have to find your why, like Danny says, to find your purpose and to give purpose to your life. I mean, yes, I know you have a purpose. Yes, you have a life. Yes, you have a family. Yes, you have a possible career. But why is that what you do? What is the why behind what you do, behind your actions?
Exactly.
So, kind of long introduction, but yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I love this. I always say that once you find the why, the rest is just do that. It's easy for you. It's easy. It's just that you know at least you know what to do. If this is something, this is a great thing. But
Yeah,
at least knowing what you have to do because it hasn't been like this for a big part of my life. I think that since 5 years now, I know what I want to do. So coding, programming. Yeah, before that, I was doing things, of course. But yeah, you understand when you really want to do something. Yeah, you really feel that inside of you. Yeah, so let's keep going. Yes, please, because I really like your style. Let's say this. Yes.
so I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about this social media. How can it impact someone's career, right? So around 2 months ago, is this December, November, October, around September, October? Well, I had like, I don't know, perhaps 70, 50, 70 connections on LinkedIn. And I just started to give thought and to think about how can I improve this platform? How can I use it for my own benefit?
Mm.
you know there is this problem that we as a society, we see it as a challenge. The problem is the following, Francesco, that we tend, this is a tendency. We tend to use social media to distract ourselves.
Totally agree. Yeah,
So what I believe is that instead of being distracted by social media, we should use it for our benefits. Now, I'm not saying this in a selfish way, just to sell your products and to sell yourself, but to make connections.
I love
See,
this.
see what I did, it was the following, man. I just took LinkedIn, I took the tutorial that Danny Thompson had it. I took that, I've written down the major thing that I've seen for my profile. And what I did was just to point them out, and then just to adjust according to what the people in those tutorials were saying.
Okay.
And in about 1 week, I grew up to 200 connections. And in 2 weeks, I received 3 offers. In 1 month, I got to more than 400 connections. And I had the chance, listen, I had the chance to say no to an offer of 25Ks per year. I'm talking euros. So I've been able to say no. So yes, social media can bring you benefit in that area, in career area. Now we need to be focused. Now why am I saying this? I mean, if I want to sell onions, I'm not going to post potatoes. If I want to sell onions, I'm going to post onions, and I'm going to talk about onions, and I'm going to take pictures about onions. I'm not going to talk about potatoes
Yeah,
and onions.
and we are not here against the potatoes. We are just talking about
No,
onions. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm not gonna get offended by any potatoes anyway.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, so I like potatoes, by the way, and onion, of course, even if
Mhm.
sometimes
Yeah.
they're making us cry, which is okay.
I love this analogy with programming. I will use this. I'll steal this.
Yeah. So the point is that it is that social media, especially in this case, LinkedIn, brought an outstanding results for me. I mean, I still receive, of course, it's the season, it's Christmas and stuff, and but I still receive offers from people, and you have to adapt. I mean, this is a major point. I mean, we don't have to be stiffy. Like, no, this is the color green, and I'm going to stick with green and green for life. Green for life. It's not about green for life or white for life or yellow or whatever green or whatever color you choose, or whatever onion you choose, or whatever potato you choose. It's about adapting to what it needs. Now, having some well, I don't see myself as an expert or something, but having some you know I've been using marketing, and every time I talk to people, every time I deal with people with their businesses or with they are doing, I just take I like to call it Einstein theory. It's an
Mhm.
insanity to do 20 years the same thing and expect different results. I mean, if you want to do something, if you want to bring something, you have to adapt yourself to the something that you want to bring it, and to see what the market is requiring. In my case, which is I am 40 plus year, like I said, 43, and people they're asking me in private, uh, how many offer did you receive? Have you received from recruiters and stuff? I can show you around last week 20 messages, private messages. So how do I get there? It's not about me getting there. It's about them getting to me. Why?
Exactly.
Because I've built connections. So it's important. It's important in um, to be in it, to be connected with people. About Twitter, well, about Twitter, I see it as my second family. I mean,
Oh,
it's so impacting for my life. It has impacted my life, Twitter. So yeah,
oh,
this is
yeah,
social media for me,
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of.
Yeah, I totally agree with this. For example, I've been away from social media until this year. Never, I have never done interaction. Maybe I got some people on Facebook, some real friends on Facebook, but I didn't even use the Facebook. So no Twitter, no Facebook. Now I'm here at the end of 2020, like making interviews on YouTube. I don't know what really happened. Probably lockdown. But yes, but yeah, apart lockdown, at the beginning of this year, I started using Twitter in the proper way. So I've been connected with all developers, and then this just snowballed. Now we are at the end of this year, and I'm here talking with you. I'm really happy about that. And yeah, and as you said, you can use the socials in the way you want. But if you are looking for a job, if you need a job, if you need money, maybe it's the case that, as you said, you use that to yeah to sell onions, to take advantage from that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not talking about like hurting other people. Instead, I think that the opposite. Be connected with the people with the same interests, which are also developers. The same, yeah. As a yeah, this is what I did basically. I've been connected just for developers, and this is why I am here now making interviews with developers. This is totally fine to me. This was not strange to me to just start making these videos with developers because this is what I did for all the year basically. Yeah, I really like your story because I really now I really believe that. you can use socials to find a job. I think that there are a lot of people, maybe including myself 1 year ago, that I would say, no, you can't use socials to find a job. It's just a waste of time. You just find a job. I don't know, sending curriculum, just walking around and putting, I don't know, in mailboxes some some CV. Maybe this was yeah, maybe this was from maybe 20 years ago. It was like that. But now, as you said, you are really the living proof of that. Yeah, I'm really happy for you. And so, yeah, so how, and I'd like to ask you, how has been to start the programming for you in the beginning, as you said, for the memory. So how has been to, wow, did you fell in love with development? Why do you like this or not?
I like the question, why do you like programming? I like
Hmm.
that. I I like that. It's the first time that I received that question. I've been thinking about it. Yes, Francesco, I've been thinking about this. Why do I like it? Well, there has been some other ways or forms to that question that I received it, but not in that particular case form. So why do I like to program? Because I can build my own world. I can use my imagination and bring what I have in what is deep down in my mind, deep down in my imagination. I can make it real, and I can make people, I can bring to people and make people happy with what I can give to them, what they can use, what I have inside of me, what I have inside of my mind, like, building. I just took, for instance, I took a project from a friend of ours, which is a connection in Twitter, and I took a project from him, and I give it my own print, my own style, and I improve it. I brought some improvements to it, and I just share it to people. I am sharing it on Twitter and on Instagram and with my friends, that there it's about a photo filter, and and people are like, wow, this is as did you did this? Yes, I made that. Did you create it? Yes, I did. Wow, that's awesome. I mean, can you do this, and can you add that, and can you improve that, and can you make a slide, and can you make that, and make it? And they're like, wow. So the users are telling me the needs, and you can just, the fact that you started. So why do I like it? Well, I like it because I can see that it helps people. Now, why did I start it? Why did I started to program? Because I can tell you this: back in '99, you haven't had access to this. You haven't had access to a keyboard so easily like today. So back in '99, I fell in love with the sound of this, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
and the touch and the way it felt,
yeah,
and the fact that I could just say, forward slash colon and MS DOS. So that was back then, and since then, up until to 2019, I haven't touched it in the way of coding. So that was the first contact. But I always had in my heart, in my mind, this memory, this image of myself. I always seen myself, had this picture of myself, that I will stand one day behind a desk just creating stuff for people. So that was something that I've been working to. I've been just, keeping that inside of me up until that point. Like, I'm sorry to make this analogy, but it has to be the way, I got 4 kids, and I've seen my wife, how she's getting pregnant, and the belly is just starting bumping and bumping up to the 9th month that she has to deliver. So it's the dream that I had inside of me. It was just like a baby growing inside of me up to this point that, the woman got my wife got to 9th month, and she had to deliver. It's the same with the dream. up to a point you have it inside, and then you just started working, and inside of you, like, wanted to go out, like, oh, like, and wanted to go, come out and to come to the light, and then boom, there you go. Accolades.dev, Luke, pastor,
I
whatever you call it. I'm a web
yeah,
developer. And
yeah.
yeah,
Look, I think this is the best analogy that I have had in my own series. It's a bit strong, but it's true. It's true that yeah, if you want something really not to work on that, you need to take care of that every day. You can't forget that you are pregnant. Yeah, so you need to work every day on this dream. Yeah, and yeah, and so I'm really happy for your achievements. I've been following you since some months, I think, maybe more. I can't remember the exact moment, but yeah, we've been connected for kind of a lot.
since March.
Yeah,
We are
wow,
connected since
yeah,
March. Since
yeah. So
March.
yeah, I think yeah in March I started like to grow a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's yeah I want to make these interviews because we are still people. Even if we get some thousands of followers, we are still
Yes.
you
Yes.
can touch ourselves. We are
Well,
still we are
exactly.
not bots. We don't know anything. And yeah, yeah. So and now for example, what? So you just said that you are doing this website for one friend of yours. Is this your current occupation, or are you doing something else? And which is your future plans also?
Well, it all started back in 2019 in June. So it all
Okay.
started then. I just had like February, like 6 months into web development. And I had this friend that he's a constructor. He owns a firm, a company, and he said to me, "Luke, I need you to build something for me to be online, to be on the internet. What
Okay.
could you build?" And he told me, "I have an Instagram account." And I just took it and I said, "Well, we could build a website." And what is that? So, is this a website? It's a website. So when you go in, like Amazon, something like, "Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
could you build me one?" He goes, "Not like Amazon, but something." Yeah. And I sit with him and talk, and we just connected towards that point. And he said, Look, you need to take care of it in the future month, of course, in the future years. You need to take care of it and stuff. So that was my first. I took it from scratch. Of course, I took a CMS and just build it, customize it and do whatever it needs to be done. I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of challenging. JavaScript is the best. That one is the best. PHP is dying. Laravel. eh, as long as I can use it and bring the work to the table, and be fruitful for the people that they needed to be to have the job done. Well, I don't really care the tool that I use. So
Yeah.
uh,
And
yeah, as long as it brings whatever the client needs. So this
yeah.
was my first website back in June 2019. Was my first website. It took me nearly a month to build it. I had to create authentic content in Spanish, authentic photos, put watermarks in. I didn't know Photoshop. I didn't know that. I didn't know how to make for instance, a transparent background. I haven't had any clue of that. So that was a new world for me, a new area for me. But I didn't say, "Oh, I don't know." Oh no, I said, "Okay, it is possible to be done. Yes, it's doable. Maybe I'm not going to do it like an expert in 2 hours. Maybe I'm going to do it in 2 days, but I'm not going to fall back. I'm just going to pursue it. I'm going to push it until I make it." And I did it. So so that was my first job. Then I had another experience. If you want me, I can tell you about it now that we're
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah. 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 I'm listening. I'm listening. Yeah. Yeah. And basically, for whatever problem you have, you should really just Google that, start reading. You don't need to have everything in your mind. Yeah, one good thing maybe is to understand that maybe that problem is can be solved or not. So maybe you know that the, an image can be made transparent. You know that you can add a watermark. So you can just need to understand how you can do this in this special project, maybe with I don't know WordPress and CMS. And in that case, yeah, you should do whatever you want. So yeah, but if you know that problems can be solved, you're already ahead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So please, yeah, please go on.
I had
Yeah.
another experience regarding jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So I had another experience regarding jobs. That was back in May this year, and since what I did was the following. Now, I don't recommend this to anyone. This is just my own experience. So please don't do the following that I am going to tell you. If you're here, it's just don't do it. What I did is very awkward because I know myself, and I know that I tend to procrastinate things. So what I did was the following: having this job of logistic for 12 years where I used to work. Now that gave me some certain point of security. They can fire you, they cannot do things to you. I mean, if they want to fire you, they will have to pay you and stuff like that. This is some kind of law here in Spain. So so what I did was to push myself. Now, how did I did that? Since I started in February 2019, and I knew that I'm just a procrastinator. I'm not going to use that word, okay? And since I knew that I'm a procrastinator, what I did was back in December, the same year, 2019, I went to my boss and said to her, um, in 2020, the last month I will be working here, it will be June. So in July, I will not work here anymore. In a way, what I did was the following: I pushed myself to make a schedule and to discipline myself up to that point to be able to get a job or to get jobs like clients in order for me, or in order for the what I've doing web development career, for my career to improve. I pushed myself out of my comfort zone. This is what I did to myself. Okay, I don't recommend this to you, Francesco.
I always say that you should always try to get out of your comfort zone. I think, yeah, you made a brave decision, but I also like that you have given some months to you. So just from tomorrow, I'll not come here. I'm just hanging. But yeah, you have made a plan, in my opinion. You've made a plan, a risky one, a risky plan, but I really like that. Yeah, please go on.
So within this frame of 6 months, what I have done, of course, back in February, COVID came and stuff. But what I have done in this 6 months, I was saving money, and I was just improving and investing in myself. I was just made a schedule every day, 5 o'clock in the morning, wake up and just, with a clear mind, and bring the concept, and just like, sometimes this is my wish. I mean, maybe this sounds like a joke, but it's just my wish, okay? I love Matrix movie. So I love when Neo is just sitting down there and he's like, it's just like putting that stuff here in the brain, and it goes like, I know kung fu. This is my desire. One day waking up and say, I know JavaScript.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna happen. Yeah, look, you are really the king of analogies of this channel. Yeah, yeah, I proclaim you the king of the analogies because, yeah, but yeah, this is exactly what you say. Yeah, at least yeah, maybe you didn't know about all this situation in this year, but I think I've seen so many people that maybe they had a lot of problem with their jobs. I think that yeah, as a programmer, there are also some jokes about that. You didn't even know about COVID and there are jokes, but I think that yeah, you can work remotely. You can do different things from home. I started also to use Twitter, so yeah, and as many people, I feel a little bit bad about saying this, that 2020 has been a very good year for me, but that's it. That's it. So, yeah, and I really like your story. I like your idea that you gave you 6 months, which is not that much, but it's not that small. So it's something in the middle. So half an year is something. A lot of things could happen in half an year. Yeah.
Exactly. So back, I wasn't finished yet the job into logistics, uh, but in May I received an offer of a full web developer, full time web developer, and I took it, man. I really took it. It was you know, we just were like for a month. Um, we had just to see how the things are going. Unfortunately they weren't go well, so they weren't well, uh, you know, placed it kind of. So they had, you know, when I, now of course I'm a beginner and I'm a junior and I don't have so much experience. I'm kind of a, you know, boomer. I'm in
Mm.
70s, so I'm kind of a boomer, kind of. I don't, I never knew these terms, but anyway. So the point is this: I haven't had any experience with Jira, for instance. I had to learn Jira. I haven't had any experience with GitHub. I had to learn GitHub. I haven't had experience with, yeah, with Microsoft Teams. I didn't know where to push the buttons. So I had to learn that one as well. So I learned that in a weekend to be able on Monday to have the conference with marketing team within the company. I just, you know, put it there in my brain. Now, now, what is going on when you get into a company like I did, and the company doesn't have a schedule? I mean, they're saying to you, they're giving to you a project on Monday, another one on Tuesday, a third one on Wednesday, and by Thursday they want all of three done. Now that's a problem. That's a
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, they
That's
can.
a, that,
Yeah, but they can say whenever they want. But one person can do the job of one person, and you also need to sleep and eat.
exactly. Exactly. So my point, my major, you know, my major complaint with this within this situation was the following. I was the only guy in front end. They had two another in back end and another one in security. So we were a team of four, and I was alone, a junior web developer on front end. And I was like every day
Yeah.
Googling, and every time I had bumped into problems, I was just asking to who? I turned to Twitter community. There were a lot of people that helped me in those critical time for me that I cannot thank them enough. You know someone, you know some of them, and you know my story about that. But I just want to say publicly thank you for the opportunity to help me in that desperate times. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so after around 20 days I quit.
Of
I
course.
just quit. I ended up burnt out. I was burnt out,
I'm
but not
sorry.
me, also my wife. I brought that into my family, and when I figured that out, I said, stop. Up to this point, I called them and I told them, listen, I don't need any money. You just stick with it. I don't care. I need my health and I need my kids and my
I,
family. I don't
yeah.
want to lose them. So it
Yeah.
could be that point.
Yeah, I think that that company really has a problem, and it's not about you. That company really has a problem. You can't hire yeah, a young guy and say, okay, I need a skyscraper for the end of the month. He or she, they can do that. So you can work a lot. You can work even 16 hours per day, but there is a human limit. In that case, of course, there should be, I think, some managers, some people that should
Exactly.
understand the situation. So maybe, as you said, yes, maybe they just don't have money, they don't have people. Yeah, they hired you and they just, yeah, they threw everything they had. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, but
exactly.
this is not the way that like one person should work. So, and I'm happy that you have not given up with development, because it's not always like that. So I'm happy that you are still here. Maybe you have been a little bit unlucky, but yeah. So yeah.
So
So uh-huh.
w- anyway, the point was that in the moment that I said goodbye, the opportunities were just flowing, just floating to me. So I had this guy back in February that on Facebook I have seen their their posts about it's a butchery, it's a butcher store,
Mhm.
and it has some traditional food from Romania. He's Romanian, and I told them, I sent them a message via Facebook, and I sent them into a private message. I've seen some issues to your website, and I've seen some problems, and I've seen some that, and I've seen some this, and you could just talk to your developer and set this that he could fix that in that way, and he could bring that to that way, and he could bring that to that button, and just
And this
then,
and this and this a snippet that you can paste, copy and paste, find your code. Now I'm joking. Yeah, you sent me
yeah,
some code maybe.
yeah, yeah. And what I did was just, I mean, just, and the guy just, the next day, I left the phone and I said to the guy, I said, you could call me and I could just give you from my time the next week from Monday to Friday, 1 hour per day, and we could talk what you can improve. Just get me to connect me with your developer, and I could help him.
Yeah.
And he called me and we've talked. And I gave him 5 hours of my time during a week, and now I have him a client. I have I make maintenance for his website. I took his two accounts of Facebook pages, and I am editing videos and photos and putting text and take care of the clients and responding and something like that, like 3 hours per week. And I am having a passive income, what I call, just by doing what I like. Now,
Nice.
yeah, I know that for some people it's very difficult because of where they are living. And I understand that. And I'm totally in agreement with that. And yes, but for those that can do this, for those that, that they are living in some other countries that they have opportunities, I see this as a great advantage to them, and we should take it. This is my own experience. Now, I'm not making this as general, but yes, this is my own experience, and what I have done was to focus now. I'm coming to this day. I am coming to this day, and I want to say this, that what I'm doing now is just freelancing, and hopefully for the 2021, what I want to do is finding a job, for a part-time job, where I can just work for like 4 to 5 hours per day, during from Monday to Friday, and the other time just to work on my side projects. I in the last month, I had three clients that they have come to me to build their website, and this is outstanding. It's amazing. Now, why? Um, why do they come to you? I mean, really, yeah. Why do they come to you, Luca? What do they come to you, Francesco? It's not because you are special. Everyone's special. This is my belief. And this is what I think. Everyone has his gift. Maybe it's not, unfolded yet, but it has his gift. Everyone has it. But what do they come to you? Why do they come to me? It's not because I'm a nice guy and I'm 43. No, they I they know what I do. Now, how do they know what I do? I send them messages. I put in my WhatsApp history. You know that WhatsApp has a history, right? So I
And
put in that what I am working. And friends are just, I know someone who I got a friend who's creating. I got someone. Yeah, he might adjust your price. He might just do something to your price, to your budget, and it's just they come. Now I don't take any. Of course, I don't take anything that Not we got a saying back in Romanian that is saying like not all the birds that they are flying you can eat them. No, not all of them are edible. So what I do is just this is the major advantage that I have as a freelancer. I can i can choose to who and to with who to work. This is the major advantage. And I developed a mindset of I work with, not I work for. and
I love
and this is a great mentality that I am working with the client for their website, because their website, it's a tool that they will bring money to them and indirectly to me. So this is the way
yeah.
I see it.
Yeah, yeah, and as you say, by choosing who you can work with, I think this can really make all the difference in the world. I think because, as you say, yeah, as you said, if you're not comfortable with it, and I think that for our job, which is a mental activity, you can do that if you are upset, if you are angry. You can try, but maybe some more physical activities. Maybe you are even better if you're angry that day. Yeah, you smash boxes, you move boxes, and you will be even better. For our activity, you should be in the best condition. I keep repeating this. You should find the best mindset. You should stay
Hmm.
relaxed. You should take rest.
Hmm.
Yeah, also to be creative, to have new ideas. So this is really makes the difference. To stay updated every day, it's really important. It's not an option for ourselves to stay updated every day. For the jobs, maybe a little bit less. So I think, yeah, for freelancing, trying to find some clients, as you said. Also, what you say, you're just sharing your your job, your works, your projects. You keep finding some other people. Yeah, this is very good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So just an hour ago, a friend of mine from some part of Spain contacted me and said to me, "Do you have any projects that I want to present to my boss, as he wants to create some website?" And I said, "Yeah, of course I do." I sent them the links, and then that friend got back to me and said, "Well, he's having a website, but he said to me that it's not that professional." And I was like, "Wow, so I'm working professional now. Wow." So yeah, so it's like wow.
Yeah,
And yeah, you see, the best. I believe this is something that I've been struggle for like 40 years. I mean, like almost the entire my life. Um, Self-doubting. I wrote an article about this. Um, but to doubt of yourself is like you are sabotaging yourself. I mean, it's like you're digging your own, your own grave. I mean,
mm,
yes, just this is what I've been learning. I mean, I can give credit to some other people that I barely know, and I don't have the guts and the courage to give credit to myself. What is wrong with me? Yeah,
yeah,
this. I mean, and we tend. Listen, this is what we do, man. We tend to try to fix ourselves, and this is just gibberish deep down inside my brain and my soul, but this is purely genuine, my heart. I don't try to fix myself. I know and I accept myself the way I am, and I improving myself. I don't, I know I have failures, and I know I had defects, and I know I'm not perfect, and I tend to embrace my imperfections. I don't say, "Oh, look, you got white hair here and white hair." I know I'm not going to try to paint it. I don't care. It's natural, and I love it. People they're looking at me and they go, "Oh, you got old," and I say, "Wow, that's the spirit. I love it. Maybe I'll be old on the outside, but I'm so young on the inside. You cannot put it with me. Come on now."
Yeah, yeah,
So
I really love
so
this. Look at my white bird. It's
I
coming white.
I love it,
Uh,
man. This is
yeah,
just part of the cycle, and that's the
of
point. I
course.
mean, why should we fight something that it's already there? How about embrace it and make it better? I mean, how can you? Okay, look, this is stupid. How can you say that live? How can you say embarrass yourself and say, okay, how can you make your old self better? You don't. You just take all the value, all the experience that you have until up to this point, and you put it on the table to people. You bring value to them. That's the point, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
If I don't leave a legacy behind me, why in the earth have I lived for? I mean, I have to leave a legacy. Maybe a picture that I took it to Francesca and put it on Facebook, even if he hates Facebook. But I would love to do that. I'm just kidding.
yeah, yeah.
So
I love this. I'm really enjoying this conversation. I'm really happy about that. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe we need to do another time. This,
yeah, we should. Yes.
yeah, I really enjoyed this. Look, thank you for sharing all your knowledge. Can I say one thing? In my opinion, you look way younger than your age, and I think that the age can also be an advantage. So it's not always a disadvantage. It depends on how you
Exactly.
use them, of course.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm really happy finally to talk with you, almost face to face. Yeah, and yeah, thank you. I think we can some people can get a really very good advantage from this interview. I'm sure about that because yeah, I really feel your energy, your way of communication. I really like that. Yeah, so I'd like to leave you the honor to maybe leave this to close this interview maybe with some tip. So to some people maybe they're lost. They want to be developers. Maybe they could say I'm too young, I'm too old, I can't do that, I'm stressed. So what can we say to them if they have this idea in their mind that they would like to be independent, to be developers? So what can you say to them?
First of all, I don't have the power, and I don't have the certain experience to get so abroad to so many people. I will just share my own experience. As I have days, blue days, as I have days where I don't feel motivated, and it's like, you open the door and motivation went, and you just go out there and you take a walk and you try to find the motivation, and it's not there. Maybe you went to have a coffee, and I'm just having my coffee and have their coffee, and I don't find it. But I can say this: I was afraid to take the step out of my comfort zone. So if someone hears this and it's scared about the next step, I encourage you to believe in yourself. You can do this. I don't want you to look at me, or whatever who you have as an idol into web development. I want you to look at yourself, to wake
Hmm.
up in the morning, look in the mirror, and to talk to the guy, to the person, to the girl that is reflecting, and say, "You have this. You got this. Trust yourself." That's the best. I mean, that was my worst. I was I was my worst enemy at a certain point by doubting myself. So if there are people that they see themselves that they cannot do this, at least I will encourage them to give them to give themselves a chance to try. I mean, you cannot say that Francesco lasagna is salty if you don't taste it. I mean, I'd love to eat your whole lasagna, man, but but at first I want to taste it
Yeah,
so that I would know how can I say your lasagna is good if I don't taste it?
yeah,
This is what I did.
and
This is
yeah,
what I did. I
yeah,
mean,
and
I gave myself a chance. So this is my advice to people that they want to get into web development. Give yourself a chance before you say no. Not staying just 1 month and try to code, and not staying just 6 months and try to code. Okay? Maintain your actual job. Go for an year. Give yourself an year. This is what I did. Give yourself a year and try to code and build your audience around web development community like Twitter. And there are plenty of this. There are plenty of communities which is covering this. But give yourself time. Don't expect like Matrix that you just put it there and just I know JavaScript and I know HTML. It's impossible. And we have to be real. Yes, maybe young people will say, well, I'm just 20, nobody will look at me. Yes, they will. You have energy, you have vision, you're visionary. Or maybe they are saying like me, I'm 40, I'm 50, who's gonna look at me, I'm just old. And no, you're not.
yeah,
Maybe you're old outside, but you have a dream inside. And you until you don't work that dream for yourself, it's not gonna be reality. I mean, I still work on myself. I still work on my own dream.
yeah,
Why?
yeah,
Because it's not over yet. And if tomorrow I'm not going to have any MacBook, any internet, any whatever, I'm just gonna take my notebook and I'm gonna write there my ideas, and when internet will come back, I'm gonna just put it on the table. This
exactly.
is this
Yeah.
is my advice. This
If you never taste your that lasagna, you could regret in the future. You can think, maybe you think in the future, maybe that time people are talking
yes,
about Francesco's lasagna, and I had the chance.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
and this, yeah, I really love your analogies. I love that. I'll steal some of them for sure, and I'll give you credit. So we are done. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I would like to stay
Yeah,
here too long, but we have to
yes.
go.
We'll have another one. Okay.
We
So
for sure, for sure.
yes.
Bye
Have a
bye.
great year. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.